My name is Elim, and I come from the Habesha community, which is Ethiopian and Eritrean community. And I am a first year in college.
I'm Analia. I'm Filipino and Black, and I come from the South Seattle community. And I'm a graduating senior this year.
My name is Ida Hawkins. I am part of the Tanzanian slash Zanzibari community. I am a college student and I live in Bellevue.
This is my view on the more like Habesha, like in America. I'm not sure about back home but it's just not very, it's not allowed. It's not good. It's just not good for you. That's what we hear. Not good for you. Oh, what happened to this person? Oh, they do all that, but it's not really you don't communicate well with the older generation. They don't really tell you why. I don't think they understand themselves to tell you all the information about how it affects your mental health, all that, lungs, all that. But it's just no, don't do it. But
I would say I don't come from a traditional Filipino family or Black family. Like, I'm very open with my family. So they tell me their view, but their view comes more from just like an old school view of marijuana. Like, they almost view it as if it's like a hard drug, like crack or something. So they say, don't do it, but you can drink, but don't do it.
I see.
Or don't smoke weed or do something like that. But they don't really tell you why. They don't tell you why this is something bad to not to do. And then as far as my Filipino family, it's almost like it's not a topic. Like, it's not brought up. And then almost if you started using, they're not really going to say much. Like I said, it's not very traditional with them.
So in my community, I feel like it's a big taboo. It's not really talked about unless, let's say, someone was doing it. It's almost like it's a big shame. You know what I mean? Like there's shame in that, but there's no real conversation as to why is there shame and why is it bad for you? Why, like all the facts behind it is not really discussed. It's just, let's say, if there was a young person who was caught smoking of whatever sort, truthfully, it's just a taboo. It's almost like they get exiled from the community. It's really, it does take a toll on, I guess, like the mental health of the community because no one's really talking about the issues that are within the community. We just keep brushing it aside by putting so much shame in mistakes and decisions that could have been avoided with conversation.
My community doesn't really talk about mental health like that. The youth is definitely trying to take the action and talk to each other, communicate, just bring everybody together. But within the past few years, nobody talks about mental health. I think that's an issue that Habeshas deal with, especially in homes. And I think it's good to have that conversation with your kids, with your family, with your sister, with your brother. But it's not really talked about.
Me and my family, we talk about mental health honestly a lot. Like, I'm able to come to them if I'm not feeling like myself. If I feel like I'm just not having a good day, I'm able to come to them, talk through it with them, and they're able to give me advice, and I'm able to look at how they're feeling and experiences they had and use it as like I'm able to look at their wisdom and take it and learn from it, basically.
So for my community, the way that we perceive like mental health and the way that we view it is, I think we're progressing. I would say that we're definitely progressing. We're acknowledging mental health, and I think that's a big step into the right direction. I think there's so much work to be done. Acknowledgement is not where we should end. I think there's so much more work to be done so that we can really help those within our own communities as well. Because so many people suffer with mental health and mental illnesses, but for the longest we didn't want to acknowledge it. You know, there's so much taboo behind it. We used to call it like witchcraft and all of these other things, but now I've noticed that there's far more conversation around it and there's at least an acknowledgement. There's just so much more work that needs to be done.
Definitely, I agree.
Actually, after you brought that up, I would definitely say how I am with my family now is only in the more recent year. Like, we've been able to come to this place where we can have these open conversations and it not be like I'm telling them how I feel and it's like, oh, like, and they just brush it off or they say it's bad or, I'm able to talk to them. But that's only within the recent years.
Yeah, me as well. Like, after COVID, kind of.
After
like
COVID, honestly.
That shift with like, okay, I see what you mean, but I don't understand, but they're willing to understand. I like that.
It's like COVID opened their eyes to
definitely.
to mental illness
Definitely.
from being locked in the house. It's
Definitely.
like, okay, so this is a real thing, and they saw the effects of what what not being social with people, with being distant, what it does,
Yeah.
and now they can kind of see it and talk about it now.
I would say that currently in my community, we've started a youth group that we're mainly focused on the youth. And what we want to do is create a safe space for them, right? And with that, over time, we do plan on trying to meet with parents and kind of really having the real conversations of what it's like to be like a kid out here, especially since a lot of our parents like out here are immigrants. So they don't really know what it's like to be us here
Definitely.
and what struggles we go through. And I know for a fact, like at least me and my mom have like talked about it a lot. A lot of the reasons why we never had these conversations was out of fear because she didn't know what was going on. You know what I mean? She didn't know what it's like to be a kid growing up in Seattle, right? So I think what can be done is really having safe spaces where adults and children can really sit down and discuss the experiences that people are experiencing, and also having professionals into this conversation. We definitely need that. And really getting perspective from everyone, really, and sharing our experiences.
Definitely.
I feel like it really, for my community, it starts with being able to talk to your parents with without being judged. So like with black families, they're just so like my way or the highway. Especially like,
agree.
you live under my roof. I fund everything. I don't care what you have to say. So I think it really just starts with being able to talk to your parents. So being able to talk to them without being judged, getting in trouble, in that level of trust with them is going to open the door for many conversations. Not even just about marijuana, about mental health, about anything. Honestly, there's that level of trust right now is just not it's not there for some families.
Yeah, same thing with my kind of similar. It's like I think the biggest step we need for my community is like hear each other out, maybe just like actually listen, um, as well as not take it so lightly. Like I feel like I don't want to speak okay from African household. It's like your feelings are very like it's like, oh, you'll be okay, you're just a kid, how are you in love, you're just a kid, you know, those one little things. But I think it's just hearing each other and like it's like your feelings are real, you know, it's valid. That's the biggest step.
I think now we're like in a day and age where the youth have a lot to say and a lot of feelings about stuff. And back in the day, it was just like for parents and for the elders, they're not hearing what the youth say because they're the elders, and that's always been something that's been instilled. Especially, I would say, and from my experience here in the States, it's like the elders, what they say goes, and you can't argue with them, you can't say anything back to them, you can't stand up for yourself, and that's very, very prevalent, and that's one of the biggest problems and why no one can talk to their families.
My name is Magda Mesfin. I'm Ilim's mom, and I'm from Habesha community, which means from Ethiopia and Eritrea community.
My name is Samia. I'm Aida's mom, and I'm from Tanzania community.
Because of the religion and culture, we don't speak about it at all. The adults, we don't speak about it, but we see some youth from our community passing through this. Now we start opening up about that and just discussing with our kids.
In our community, that's our culture. We don't talk with the kids. It's like a shame to be your kids have a smoke marijuana, and so that's make a problem for our kids because they are not coming to you because they're scared. We don't think as our parents to come together with the kids, and we start to be hiding other parents, and at the end it's gonna be worse.
Yeah, for example, in our area, like Edmund Sulu High School, and Edmund Sulu High School and College Place Middle School. I hear that the kids they give them for the kids like, do you want to try? And Do you want to smoke with us and stuff? So my kids, they come and openly they ask me, and I told them it's not good for the health, for everything, just for financial, everything. It's not acceptable in our culture. Come to them the stigma too. So I explain for them that
The kids have to come to us. They're scared. How we're raising is a different way, but don't be scared. Just come and talk. You know, if you're just starting earlier, we can solve, we can go to therapy, we can make a prayer. We believe on prayer too. They can help. So don't hiding or don't scared. Oh, community is gonna be, see me as a bad kids, whatever. No, it's not end of the world. I'm a mother. All the time I stand for you, no matter what. So be honest.
yeah, they have to be open to their kids, and they have to just listen to them in judgmental. So they have to have this conversation like friends, talking each other like best friends. They have to have that in our community. We don't have that much, but like I feel like now we need it. We have to be open to our kids. We have to listen to them and try to understand them.
I think now is about time to change the other things we grow up with in our community. Because nowadays, life's changed. Kids, they have internet, social media. There's a lot of things outside. So we have to sit down with the kids, talk everything, no matter what. Sometimes the religion, we can talk other things, but if we are not talking to them, so they don't know it was wrong. So we have to be honest. Not like how I grow up. I can speak with my mother, some other things. I can't be honest. I hiding. So now is not time about the kid to hide or me to feel shame to talk to my kids. I have to be honest to talk and to understand this is wrong, this is right, this is gonna affect your life, this is gonna go straight to whatever your future.